Hey everyone, Eiyuden's 20, back again, continuing the media thread, and I don't know why I forgot what it was called. Left off with April? No. January, February, March, April, May. May. I mean, I could just look it up. Into June! So the last thing we finished was me going crazy about Bang Dream for 40 minutes or something, I don't know. Worth it. So here we are at the start of June 10th specifically. And yes, June 10th, that was when I finished watching Kamen Rider Kuuga. Actually, give me a second. Here we go. Just had to go get it. Because why not? It's nice to actually have for like videos, to have the physical thing here. So this is the first thing that I bought from Shout, right? Shout are the ones who are doing this? Yeah, Shout. Shout are the ones who are releasing officially subtitled, translated versions of Kamen Rider and Super Sentai. They've done a lot of Super Sentai. They have like 4 or 5 writers, I think. Could be wrong, because a few of them were done by Discotech instead. We'll focus on Kuuga though. I chose to get Kuuga first simply because I wanted to get Ryuki first, because that's my favorite. But I chose Kuuga specifically because at the time, for some reason, he was making the rounds just on my Twitter. It was just a lot of people were sharing some of their favorite scenes from Kuuga, and they were thinking about Kuuga and just older Heisei shows in general, and how the vibe of those Kamen Riders were very different from the second Heisei and the Reiwas, which is true. They're totally different. And it kind of got me thinking, man, what was Kuuga like? Because I actually don't know when I watched it, because to go into this one more time, I got into Kamen Rider because of Shinkenger, of all things. They had a Decade crossover episode, and I was like, man, Decade looks cool, so I went and watched Decade. And Decade, he visits alternate realities of the previous 9 writers. At the time, I didn't know those were alternate realities. I thought those were just the previous shows. So based off of those episodes he spent in those worlds, it got me interested in the stories of those worlds, and I chose to watch the previous writers in a completely random order, depending on how cool I thought the concept in Decade was. So as you know, I went from Decade to the original shows and found out they're not really like that exactly. So somewhere in that mess of after I finished Decade and I was watching all of them in Scramble, I watched Kuuga, and I barely remember it because of how long ago it was. I couldn't even tell you exactly when. I just know it has to have been before 2010. So it's probably somewhere around there. Well, obviously, because Decade was airing at the time. Man, it was cool. It was just great. It was really good going back and watching like a classic Kamen Rider show. I say classic, it's from the year 2000. But like watching one that's so stripped back, because I'm so used to, and I guess everyone who, like, let's say watches every series as it comes out, is so used to how they are now. To say, like, the suits are so much more detailed, the transformation sequences are so much more detailed, the power sets, the forms, writers have so many forms now, there's so many writers, the plots are all completely different than differently told, and the action carries differently than it was. Like, everything just changed. Obviously, it's been 24 years since Kuuga, so clearly it's not gonna all stay the same. And even then, I think Kuuga's probably closer to the Showas. I've only seen one show, which was Black. And it's been a while, so I also don't remember the full details of that one. But it's just different. And going back there and watching something so much more simple was really fun. I don't know if you have this issue where sometimes you're doing whatever on the computer, and then you're just like, or you're just at home and you're like, man, I have like 30 minutes to kill. What do I do? You know, because like for whatever reason you don't want to play any of your games, you don't want to do anything important. You're just like, what's something I can do just to chill for like 30 minutes, or maybe while I'm eating. And when I had Kuuga, when I was watching Kuuga, that was Kuuga. So every time I'm like, hey, what can I do? I just pop in the disc and continue where I was and watch more. It was so bad though, because when I finished it, I didn't have anything, and all of a sudden those open spaces in time were open again. Really sucked. Oops, dropped that. But man, yeah, it's good. Like, in its simplicity, it's good. It's just like I talk about obviously here, but I say I like it because of how simple it was. It's just a guy who inadvertently gets rider powers, decides, hey, I'm gonna do something about it. I'm gonna protect people. I'm just gonna, because he's friendly, he's optimistic, he's just a good guy, I guess. It's not super deep, but it's fine. I like that. I liked his dedication to everybody, and I liked how chill the episodes were at times. And like seriously, there were some. I actually do remember this from when I watched the show originally. Some episodes, like he finally gets around to fighting the baddie at the end of the episode with like a minute to go. So like he gets there, punches them a few times, does his finisher, and then we're done. We're out. Next episode, you know. And I was like, did that annoy me back then? Did I wish the fight scenes were longer? I legitimately don't remember. I'm not gonna pretend that I do. But watching it now, I actually didn't have much of a problem with it. Like, I liked all the character stuff. And I liked the cool, fun fighting and the punching and all that stuff, because of course I do. But, yeah, it was nice. It was good. I loved the whole cast. By the end of the show, I was just like, man, and none of you come back. It's like the other thing about it. So obviously, Yusuke, Ichijo, and Sakurako are like the main ones. But then I have them listed here with Sugita, Inokiya, Minori, Pops, Tsubaki, Jin, and Nana that are like recurring, and they're just great. They're really good. Like it's a good cast that they had. Yeah, it's a bummer that none of them have ever come back, at least as far as I'm aware. Maybe there was like a cameo in something with one of the actors, but I doubt it. I don't think any of them are back. Godai Yusuke, the original Kuga's never coming back. Odagiri, Joe Odagiri, I think is his name. And like it sucks, you know. Like from a perspective like that, it really does suck. I would have liked to see him again, even once. Like he doesn't even have to transform if he doesn't want to fight. Just to see him on screen would have made me happy. But you know, it's fine. I mean, it's been 24 years. If he doesn't want to do it, don't want to do it. You know, whatever. But he was. I would like them to at least then recast. I know that'd be hard. I don't know if there's something that Japan's ever considered. Simply because whenever they do like the big anniversary get-togethers they have nowadays, or at least there was a time when they were doing it like every year with all the riders. Every time they bring on a Kuuga, it's just the outfit, and sometimes I think maybe they reuse dialogue or like efforts from Kuuga, or they just have other actors or other voice actors like just kind of copy it. But you never get to see him out of outfit ever. Which is kind of sad, but even then, it's still great. I think the weirdest thing about Kuuga is that for as much of a focal point as she is, I didn't even notice this until I finished the series and read something. The rose tattoo, Grongi, the one who's basically like the proctor of the game that they're playing throughout the entire series, that she actually never encounters Kuuga, I think. Like, I think that was what I read, that they never actually fight. Like, I know they don't fight, but I'm like, do they even meet? Because most of her scenes are either with the Grongi or with Ichijo, and then she just dies. She just gets shot and dies, and it just ends. It's kind of weird. That final battle, though, I saw it again, and it was much more intense than I remember it being from when I first... Like, I was so excited to get to it, because I remember I thought it was pretty cool when I watched it the first time, but watching it again now, after all 48 episodes of build-up, or 47 episodes of build-up, that final battle was great. That was good. Like, once again, stripped back in its simplicity. Just two guys beating the shit out of each other. Amazing. So yeah, I fucking love Kuuga. Like it was really worthwhile watch. I had a lot of fun. I will watch it again. I mean, I have it here. I can watch it as many times as I want. Weird thing about this, this is something just more about Blu-rays in general. I don't have like I play these through VLC, and sometimes VLC decides to be difficult. It doesn't want to read Blu-rays. It's more of an issue with my concerts as opposed to the shows. But the weird thing is, when I try to seek in an episode, if I want to go back and see something because it was like really funny or just for a reason, or if I need to pause it, chances are if I unpause it or if I seek, it'll like freeze and it won't play anymore. And so then I have to like just like pull it out, push it back in, try to find where I was, you know, and all that stuff. And it's like, it's a hassle to have to do it a lot. I was just like, well, just watch the whole disc. Stay where you are, watch the whole disc, don't pause it. So what I did was I would copy them off here onto the computer so I could play them back easier. Which helped a lot with that. Like if I had to get up and get food or something, I could just pause it. But the issue, the funny thing is that every disc, like it has like 7 episodes in it, but for some reason it withdraws 8 files. So I would end up with the 7 episodes separately, and then an 8th file, which is all 7 episodes, just playing one after the other. So it made copying them out take so long, because it's like, here's an 8 gig file, here's an 8 gig file, and here's a 48 gig file. I'm like, what is that? So yeah, that was just a funny little thing I noticed about this. Still very good. Kuuga, very good. That was June 10th. What did I do next? Ah, yes, I remember this. June 21st, early in the morning, so I must have been awake past midnight when I finished this game. Eiyuden Chronicle Rising. So one game that I've kind of been interested in getting ever since I saw the trailer for it was Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes. It just looked cool from the trailer, like how just the aesthetic and everything of it. I was like, that sounds neat. Like, I want to get it. And then I was going on Steam thinking about buying it at one point. It's expensive because I mean it's still a recent game and it's still getting new DLC from what I understand. So it's not going to drop to like a crazy sale. But it was on sale once, and I was like, eh. And then I found out about this game when I went to the website that it's supposed to be like a prequel or like setting the stage for the world of 100 Heroes. So I was like, I should get this one first just in case. And it was on sale for super cheap. So I was like, why not? So I got this one instead. And it was fun. It's not the same play style as 100 Heroes is, which I think that one's more of like an RPG, like a turn-based, kind of like a Final Fantasy or something, like that style. Whereas this one is I don't know what to call it, real time. Like you move your character around the 2D field and you hit stuff in real time. I don't know what the word for that is, but it was fun. It was like a really, really simplistic game. I think I wrote because I know it was CJ, Rue, and Guru, and Isha. There we go. I have it written right there. It was fun. It was like it was really interesting about it. I expected voice acting, and there isn't any in this one. Which, you know, that's okay, because I went back into that old style of games that I think we all used to do. Tales and Symphonia is one I did this for a lot, even though that did have voice acting. Fire Emblem, the old school Fire Emblem games. Like, you run into those games, and generally by reading what the characters are saying and how they're saying it, you get like a voice in your head. And this was the first game in a long time that I can remember that I had that I went back to that. It's like with reading books, even the same thing. I had that same experience with this, where all of a sudden I was like just imagining their voices as they were talking to each other. It was just a nice little revisit to have. It was really fun. Like, the three of them were charming. I think CJ and Guru, just their relationship was a lot of fun. Just how, and it's also a really isolated quest. Clearly, it hints to stuff at certain points that's happening outside of where this game takes place. Clearly, stuff that's gonna be experienced in 100 Heroes, especially because of the like ominous ending on the black screen with the bad guys. You know, one of those bad guys had a funny name, and I wish I remember what it was. I think it was like a duck or something. I don't know. It's just like, really, that's the villain's name. Yeah, it was just charming. It was charming, simple fun. I enjoyed it. And then, oh yeah, I completed it the next day on the 22nd. It wasn't really that hard to complete, right? Yeah, no, not really. It was fun though. It was a good time all the way through. And then what's next? June 24th. Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. I think this might have been another situation I could have completed this game sooner, but I got to doing other stuff. Man, this remake was great. Like, crazy. It's still absolutely insane that this even happened. The Paper Mario: Thousand Year Door is one of those games where I think most people were like, yeah, this is never happening. We're never getting this game back again. And I mean, we've accepted that for what? Like a decade? And like, for me, personally, like I don't know how hot the take is anymore because Paper Mario is always switching. I really enjoyed the first Paper Mario. Thousand Year Door is fantastic. I got bored of Super Paper Mario within like an hour or two. I don't like the way that it plays. It's just like junk. And I'm like, it doesn't matter how good the story is if I can't be arsed to play it. And I wasn't. I hated it. I never played Sticker Star. I've only heard bad things about that. And then Origami King and Color Splash never interested me. So for me, Paper Mario was just really two games that I liked. And getting to play this one, which indeed, after playing Paper Mario 1 or earlier this year, and then now going to Thousand Year Door, I was like, yeah, no, they expanded on everything and made this game better in like every single way. And the remake made it even better somehow. The key thing to mention, which I'm sure everyone's talked to death about, is the frickin' music. The OST, it's incredible. It's absolutely amazing the work that they put into the music for the remake. All the battle themes, the boss themes, the area themes, everything is absolutely amazing. They did great. Like, that in of itself is like worth the price of admission, and everything else is just a plus. You get a great game on top of a like an even better soundtrack. I mean, the original soundtrack was good too. Nothing wrong there. And they made an amazing one. It's so cool. Like, and this is after also the Super Mario RPG remake too. It's like, dang, they nuts. You know, it's crazy. And Super Mario Wonder, which is also great. Like, they've been killing it with Mario games. Remakes or not, they've all been very consistently incredibly fun and high quality and just great. So it definitely still holds up. It's definitely still one of the best games of all time, and the way that it was improved was cool. Although I will say, the one thing that I remember when I was playing Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door for my Let's Play way back, and even thinking back on it later, the going back and forth in Chapter 4, I think, with Creepy Steeple, yeah, that got super bad by the end of it. Terrible in the original game. But here they cut it out with like a quick little pipe that cuts out, I think, the last 2 trips you have to make. And on the one hand, great, like, you don't have to backtrack to that freaking area again and again. On the other hand, it made the chapter so much shorter. Like, Chapter 4, you're in and out way faster. Like, obviously, I mean, granted, I think people in the original game might have been, by the time you had to go through the 3rd or 4th trip through the forest, you would try to skip all the enemy encounters, so it's like there's no difference between just not doing the walking and going through the screens and skipping fights. Yeah, it shrunk a lot. Also, the new quick travel system, great. Like, I mean, can we like patch that into the original Paper Mario? Like, I get the idea of why the pipes were spread out in different areas in Paper Mario and the few different hubs in Thousand Year Door. But man, just having them in like a centralized location makes everything so much better. In addition to having another pipe that goes straight from the overworld down into the quick point. Also, this is the first time I ever completed the Pit of 100 Trials. I've never done that before. I've never had the patience for it. I always thought it was terrible. Like, I'm like, that sounds bad. And it got bad. It got really bad towards the end. There was a matchup against, I think, 4 or 5 wizards. That was bad. I had to like BS my way to like a 2-turn victory, I think, some way. I can't remember how I did it, because if they had gotten a chance to all attack me, I would have died. And I lost my life shroom like super early in the dungeon because I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, no, that was rough. And even at the end of I screwed up the end of the Bone Tail fight as well, because he didn't have much HP left. So I'm like, how do I take that out? I need to beat him now. I'm like, oh, Ms. Mouse, she has a piercing attack. Her normal attack pierces defense. She can take him out. Cool. I swapped to her, forgetting that she got frozen the last time I had her out. So it brought her in, and then my turn ended because she couldn't do anything. Good times. Yeah, that was fun. I haven't done, like, I mean, they added some extra, which, wow, adding in the Prince Mush fight at the end of the game was like the best kind of fan service ever. I tried it, got my butt kicked. I had no idea what I was doing wrong. I got completely destroyed. I actually read up on some things, not how to beat him, just like how to fight him, because I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Why? Cause like his defense is so high. Like, what am I supposed to do? And then I found out, yeah, oh, super guard. Which admittedly, I was pretty good at super guarding early game. Not anymore towards the end game. Bummer. And I never even fought the other super boss because I have heard about him and I've read some things about what he does. And I'm just like, that sounds insane. And also, it requires having to go through the 100 trials again. Granted, you can skip the first 50, but even then, it's still a lot to do just to fight another boss. I'm like, I would rather watch someone fight it than fight it myself at that point. I'm curious, but I don't know. Still, great game. Like, I don't know how many more ways I could say it, just because of how fun it was. Just, man, definitely another one where like anytime in the future I could definitely be like, you know what, I want to play it again, and then I could go back and play it again, because that was worth it. And that's it. I forgot to check ahead, but yeah, that's it for June. Everything else continues into July. So wow, really, that's it. Kuuga, Eiyuden, Chronicle Rising, Paper Mario. I didn't do a lot in June. Granted, once again, Kuuga, 49 episodes, so I was probably watching that for the majority of June. Yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, man, looking back on this has been some year, and we're still going. I still have to catch up. I got June, July, and August still to do, and then we'll be up to date. And then I can already spoil it. The September month's gonna be super quick if it continues going at this rate. Anyway, that's all for now. Until next time, hasta.